2, 1.
So let's review what we've covered with cotton fiber, and then we can get a better feel for what we've talked about. The cotton fiber grows in a boll on the cotton plant. Number of bolls to each plant, but in that boll there are about 5,000 seeds. Each seed produces a fiber, a single fiber, and that fiber starts to grow as a sheath, and each night an additional layer is added to that fiber, and it's pure cellulose, and it grows in a round tubular type form, and it will each night for about 32 nights, give or take or two, it'll add an additional layer of cellulose as it grows. And after about the 32nd night, it's mature, and when it's exposed to the sun, the heat and the sunlight will cause the boll to explode, or actually break open. And when it does, the heat and the moisture is dried out from the fiber, and the cotton fiber turns into a flat ribbon type with 1 or 2 turns in each direction from the top to the bottom. And that's what the cotton fiber is in its natural form. And that's what John Mercer did his testing with in the lab, and by applying that flat ribbon type fiber to an alkali, sodium hydroxide, it caused it to swell up in a rod-like form, but that's all it did. It swelled up, and from his readings, he did show that in that form it had improved moisture content regain, which in turn, when they tested it with iodine, showed that it would have an improved dyeability. It would absorb more dye, but that's all it did. It did not gain any luster. Actually, the fiber shrunk a little bit. And when he presented these findings to the British authorities, they had no interest in it. So it sat there for 40 years until Horace Lowe picked up Mercer's findings and found that when he applied the mercerization under tension, apparently to hold it from shrinking, the fiber became very lustrous and reflected light much better than in its previous form. And with that, the additional luster, when it was dyed and put into a fabric, the fabric itself became much more lustrous. It shined. And that, of course, was what the immediate overnight success was. The industry loved that, and that's what they went with. So that was the story of the unmercerized and mercerized, and the features of the mercerized cotton. Now, and that pretty much finishes up our first session. Now, next week, we're going to do a session in the shop where I'm going to present the correct setting of the shed on a counterbalance loom and a jack loom. And with that, we'll go over the basics and the methods of setting the loom properly to start weaving with, both the jack loom and the counterbalance loom. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.